Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
It's a small town about 170 miles northwest of Detroit where their lives, they live for their unique St. Patrick's Day celebrations, Brandon.
The radar is showing blue, not green, so we are tracking a little St. Patty's Day snow.
But first, the possibility of officially connecting the man arrested in a police shooting this week to a police murder last November. It all draws near today. Thank you so much for joining us. The signals of major changes against a Detroit man for Wayne State University Sergeant Colin Rose's murder are here this afternoon. Preparations are underway for a news conference to announce some developments in this case. Let's get out to Greater Grace Church in Detroit, where Rod Maloney is standing by live with the very latest. And Rod, what have you been able to find out so far about what's going to be announced?
Well, in about the next half hour, is scheduled for 12:30. We'll see if that's the actual time. That there's going to be a news conference out here, and it's an important VIP news conference in that Mayor Mike Duggan is going to be here, along with Wayne State University President M. Roy Wilson and the Wayne State University Police Chief Anthony Holt. And the expectation is, and I'm told, that this press conference is to announce that there's an arrest, or there's going to be an arrest, in the murder of Officer Colin Rose. The 29-year-old canine officer Colin Rose died, shot in the head, after an altercation with an unknown attacker on November 22nd last year. That attacker, seen on video released by DPD, first riding a distinctive BMX bicycle, left at the murder scene the night of the attack. And then, just last week, DPD released this video of a man running across the street near the Rose murder scene just afterward, which was recorded by a DDOT bus. Those images have been in the minds of every cop investigating the shooting Wednesday night of 2 Detroit police officers just a stone's throw from the original Officer Rose murder scene. DPD arrested 60-year-old Raymond Durham in this week's police shooting within hours. Local 4 News has confirmed from Detroit police sources now that investigators have linked DNA on a glove and a flashlight left at the Rose murder scene on the night of his killing that matches Durham's. The news conference, called for today after the Detroit Police Department graduation, will give us more clarity on that connection. A High City source tells Local 4 News that charges in all 3 cases are expected against Durham. Chief Craig addressed the dangers of Detroit police work with the newest graduating police academy class, referencing this week's shooting this morning.
These officers who are recovering inside of the hospital as we speak risk their lives to remove this violent criminal from our streets. This is the level of devotion that defines a Detroit police officer.
Now, there are a lot of questions that are going to be answered at this news conference about its Sergeant Rose from Wayne State University Police Department Canine Force. But we're expecting, again, Mayor Duggan and also the Wayne State University president and also the police chief from Wayne State University to be there to talk more about this. This is a case they've been trying to solve for quite some time, put a lot of energy into this. And so I'm sure that there will be some enthusiasm for the possibility that they think they're going to be able to make charges in this case. Back to you.
Well, Rod, can you talk a little bit about what the family is saying about these developments?
Yeah, that's it is Mr. Durham's family has reached out to us, and they're saying that they don't believe that he is capable of doing something like this, but we'll be talking to them later to see more about what it is that they have to say.
All right, Rod, thank you. And we're hearing that news conference is scheduled to start at any moment now. Detroit Police Chief James Craig, Mayor Mike Duggan, as well as the president from Wayne State University. We're expected to hear from all of them. In fact, they're standing at the podium now, where actually they're at Greater Grace Temple is where they're speaking from, and the graduation of 25 cadets just took place. Let's listen in.
It's certainly been a tough road, a long road, and I want to emphasize it continues. This is only a first step in what I describe as bringing some closure, but not closure. And I just want to be emphatic on that one point. Certainly I can't say enough about the great work of the Detroit Police Department. I would tell you, having worked so many different police agencies, this is truly the best of the best. Wayne State Police for being a great partner, not just now through this, but they have been. Michigan State Police Department continually is a great partner. Wayne County Sheriffs, I reluctantly missed out. They were out there the night that our two heroes were shot out working feverishly with the 200-plus officers. Certainly, our local and federal partners. I can't say enough about the FBI, ATF, DEA, Border Patrol. Again, they were out there with us. Certainly the officers from the 3rd Precinct, because I know that they're still dealing with the trauma of their colleagues, their partners, our partners who are still suffering as we speak. Homicide. You know, I can't just say enough about homicide and the work that you and your team does, your leadership, Captain Miles and Commander Wilson, certainly tireless professionals who just, every time that bell goes off, they're there to answer the call, never complaining. So again, this is a first step. And I'm going to continue to say it throughout my remarks. We worked very hard to get to this day. This does not signify closure. Again, I continue to be very proud of the work of the men and women from all the agencies that I talked about in apprehending this violent felon. We just go back to the night of the shooting incident. Within several hours, through a diligent, courageous effort, the suspect was brought into custody. But make no mistake, this suspect was violent, he was dangerous, and when the second set of officers made contact with this suspect who had burrowed in, there was an effort, we believe, on his part to attack those officers, but it didn't happen. So I just want to say that is great. So yesterday evening, and this is the point, yesterday evening we received telephonic confirmation of a positive DNA match. Now I will say, because this investigation is continuing, I will not go into any details. And I will also say, as it relates to this DNA match, this is one component of the investigation. This investigation has many components to it. We talk about interviewing witnesses, interviewing suspects, gathering evidence. And I will not go into any details of that part of this investigation. So at this point, Mr. Raymond Dermond is now considered a prime suspect in the murder of Wayne State Police Sergeant Colin Rose and the attempted murder of our two Detroit police officers. Again, this is a first step. This matter, as it relates to Sergeant Colin Rose, has not been presented to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. We are putting together a warrant package that should be presented where the Wayne County Prosecutor make an evaluation on all of the evidence, on all of the information. At this point, that has not been done, but we are considering him a suspect. We anticipate that as it relates to the shooting of two Detroit police officers, that matter will be reviewed as early as today at the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. So we anticipate charges forthcoming, and I'll see if Chief Hope would like to make some comments.
I just don't want to expand too much on what Chief Craig stated. I just want to compliment the Detroit Police Department as a whole, especially the Detroit Police Department Homicide Task Force. Because it was my officer who lost his life, I know how hard they work 24/7 to investigate this case. This is an ongoing investigation, and they're going to do the complete fine job that they continue to do.
And as I prepare to take your questions, I just want to also start by saying I understand the strong interest in this case. I understand your willingness to get information and put it out very quickly. We understand that. I have other goals that I must stay mindful of, and part of that is that our actions result in the successful prosecution of this suspect. That's it. If I'm not telling you every detail of this case, it's because we absolutely do not want to do anything that will undermine this case. So I just start with that, and I will open it up for any questions that you might have.
Tell us about the details of the DNA match. What materials did you have to work with?
I can't go into the details of that. As I indicated, and I'll just stress as the questions come, I will not address specific issues regarding the DNA. There was a DNA match. I'm not going to go into any other forensic evidence. I won't go into interviews, interrogations, interviews of witnesses, what specific evidence that was collected. I will not go into that.
Chief, you've made one arrest and that one didn't work out. What is your level of confidence with this, and perhaps even more importantly, what is your level of enthusiasm for the possibility of a conviction in this case? And I'd also like to hear from Chief Holt.
You know, there's a, let me start. The Detroit Police Department is a lead investigating agency. So any questions concerning the investigation can be directed to myself or the team. I would tell you the amount of work. It didn't just start at the time when our two officers were shot. Unfortunately, it was through that shooting that opened up another door. But again, first step, not closed, still moving forward.
Chief, would you characterize this DNA development as significant, as major? You put a label on it. That's part one, and then part two. If the shooting didn't occur the other night with Mr. Durham, Mr. Rose's case, Sergeant Rose's case, would still be open, and you'd have two alleged that killer's still roaming the streets. Is that a fair characterization?
Well, let me deal with your first one. Of course, whenever there's a forensic match, it's significant. But as I pointed out, it represents one part, not the total parts. There are other aspects of this case, of the investigation, and when you look at its totality, it's certainly very different in the initial suspect. To your first question or second question, would this suspect still be at large and certainly a danger to our community? I would say strong possibility. I would also say that with the work that was being done, I knew that we were making significant headway in this case. So unfortunately, this sped that process up with two officers, you know, faced with a dangerous situation and sustaining gunshot wound. But, you know, I can't tell you or project that if this didn't happen, how long would it have taken. We were making headway. The tireless work that was going on, I think I reported out in the past that, you know, we had constant task force operations in that area. We're still talking to witnesses. We were still getting a number of tips as we continue to get to this day. So there was still a lot of work that was going on, and I was confident, as well as the team, that we were going to identify this suspect and bring him into custody.
Chief, you mentioned yesterday your displeasure with some of the media reports basically related to a possible confession, and then the DNA information got out before you were able to officially release that. Tell us, in your mind, what is it about certain evidence that could jeopardize an investigation?
Let me just say, I had no intent to come in here. You know, I made my statement on my concern. I'm always concerned when information gets out. Do I believe that I will stop unofficial police sources from talking? Absolutely not. Do I believe that leaks will continue? Yes, I believe that. I mean, that's the nature of your business. You have sources, and you operate from them sources. And if you can corroborate a source of information, so be it. My mission is different. I'm not interested in information getting out quickly. You have been tremendous help to us in my time here. I know I've asked you to put information out on people of interest, suspects, photographs, videos. You have supported us in that effort. You've done a phenomenal job. And the phrase that I've coined, we know who you are, we will find you, and we will arrest you. And so far, we're batting, what would you say the percentage is? Yeah, 100%. And we do it because we're very selective and very careful. So I don't want to in any way suggest that I don't appreciate the role you play. I also know that the role you play is getting out information to the community. They want to know. As it was pointed out, you know, if this had not occurred, was this dangerous suspect going to continue to roam the streets of Detroit? That is a concern for all of you and our community.
And you are listening in to Detroit Police Chief James Craig, where he just updated us on a significant development in the Wayne State University Police Sergeant Colin Rose murder investigation. They now have their prime suspect, the same man, Raymond Dunham, who is also the prime suspect in the shooting of 2 police officers in Detroit on Wednesday. The connection here is DNA evidence that was found at the scene of the Colin Rose murder. That also has been connected to this same suspect. Police Chief James Craig saying that this is a first step. It's just one element in this investigation, but it's a major component, obviously, and this is something that is a significant development in finding a prime suspect in a case that has been open since the murder of Colin Rose back in November of last year. So Police Chief saying that he anticipates that charges are forthcoming and he wants to see successful prosecution of this suspect without anything to happen to jeopardize this case. So again, the murder of Sergeant Rose, Wayne State University Sergeant Rose, they now have a prime suspect, and that is Raymond Dunham, 60 years old, from the city of Detroit. We'll, of course, continue to listen in on that news conference. If anything new comes out of that, we'll certainly pass it along to you both here and on clickondetroit.com. In the meantime, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more Local 4 News at noon. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. The Environmental Protection Agency has approved $100 million in funding for the city of Flint. This is significant. Senator Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters announced the approval today. The EPA has made $51.5 million immediately available for lead line replacements, distribution improvements, and corrosion control. The additional $65.5 $1 million in federal funding will be provided after the city and state complete more technical reviews. And we'll have much more as we come back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Local 4 News at noon, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. A little gloomy looking out there, 37 degrees. Temperatures above freezing still. We are tracking snow and not rain. Look at some of the snow coming in. If you're traveling out I-96 into Livingston County, we're getting some light snow there. A few bands of slightly heavier snow coming out of Jackson County, heading toward Washtenaw County and Ann Arbor. But notice how it's breaking apart here. Sort of an appetizer. The model data is convinced that as this area of low pressure, the center of the storm over northern Illinois, as that gets closer, that the backside of this storm will begin to fill in, and we could be in for a heavy burst of snow just at the wrong time during the late afternoon, evening commute. So temperatures in the upper 30s, but still producing snow through the afternoon and evening hours. And here's just a glance at the model at 5 p.m. And this blue is the snow, and that dark blue could be a heavy burst of snow. This could be a quick inch and a half that will make the travel very tricky. And then we could also add in a little bit of rain on the backside of that, maybe a little bit higher amounts up in our north zone. Could get closer to 2 inches. A couple of models to look at here. One is a little bit more aggressive and again does have our north zone nearer the 2-inch mark. And this model is really not buying much into the snow potential, an inch or less for most. But either way, I do anticipate tricky, slippery roads and what could be some reduced visibility. Right now, Rhonda, Sunday, the pick of the weekend days.
All right, we'll be ready for some sunshine. We'll be right back.
Replay song.
Welcome back, everybody. If you are just joining us, we want to tell you about the significant development that's happened. Detroit Police Chief James Craig says DNA Match has confirmed 60-year-old Raymond Durham as a prime suspect in the murder of Wayne State Police Sergeant Colin Rose. Chief Craig says that no charges have been filed yet, but he anticipates that charges will be coming. And Raymond Dunham, I should also mention, is also the prime suspect in the attempted murder of the 2 Detroit police officers on Wednesday of this week. We'll have much more on this on Local 4 News first at 4. Thanks for being with us today at noon. Have a good day, everybody.